What if I told you there are 5 things you could do to live a thriving life at 40? 40 is not downhill. It's the start of the second half of life. How many times have we seen someone that's broke, unhappy, unhealthy, in a toxic relationship with no ambition, drive, and determination to create the life they want? But every once in a while, you see someone that's energetic, ambitious, glowing with confidence, and it seems like everything they touch turns to gold and they achieve everything they want. In this video, I'm going to tell you the 5 things that set me on a new pathway in life and how you could achieve this too. So let's get into it. The first thing all thriving people do is take care of their health. They're proactive about it. They're preventative. They don't wait till things happen to them. They actually take care of themselves throughout the years. First, they eat right. They don't eat as many processed foods. They eat home-cooked meals, and this allows them to get the good nutrients into their bodies so they can have really great joints. They don't have back problems, and it's easy for them to get up and get out and get moving. On top of that, when they're able to get out and be active, they're working out. Now, working out doesn't have to be the most strenuous workout. You don't have to work out like a Navy SEAL. One thing that people always do that I've seen in the 40s, they walk, and that's good enough. 15, 20 minutes a day, start there. And as you progress and you get healthier and either you lose some body fat or you feel more nimble, add a little bit more. You don't need to go all out. It's all about continuous progress every single day. And that's what I've done. Now, I look like I'm in my late 20s, early 30s. I get that all the time, but I've been able to take care of my body for the most part really well. I've worked out, I've ate healthy, and this is not easy. I still love my cheeseburgers. I still love my pizza and my pastas. But one of the things though is you got to do it in moderation. Health is really important because it's the fuel to life. It's the engine. Your body is literally your engine. So when you take care of it and you put the good foods in, it's like putting the good gasoline in it. When you take your vitamins, it's like putting the good oils in your body. So your engine could run optimally all the time. It doesn't break down and you could continually driving 80 miles an hour. In some cases, 100 miles an hour. But when you take care of your engine, when you take care of your car, you wash it, you vacuum it, you do all these things, it actually works longer. It lives longer. For me, I take care of my cars. I have a truck, 2005 Silverado. I love driving it. It takes care of me and it gets me to where I want to go. But because I take care of it, this car has lasted like a champ. And it's going to keep lasting like a champ because I'm regularly taking care of it. And you need to treat your body the same way. Now, the second thing that's really important is your mindset and your spirituality. For me, I actually combine these two because your mindset and your spirituality are all intertwined. It's how you think. It's how you behave. It's how you interact with the world. And so if you have a good mindset, and what I mean by that is a growth mindset, you're always trying to figure out how to progress and get better. You actually become more productive. You become more engaged with what's around you. You're willing to work hard, do things that are outside of your comfort zone that actually allow you to develop as a person. With the right mindset, if you're positive all the time, you're going to look at the good things in life. And even when the bad things happen, I'm able to find solutions to it. I'm a problem solver. That's what I like to do. If it wasn't for my growth mindset, I wouldn't be in the position I am right now, where I was stuck in a job, unfulfilled with no purpose, and felt like I hit a glass ceiling. But having a great mindset allowed me to venture out, go try new things. And then having that spirituality factor and believing in God allowed me to actually be committed, have faith. Now, I'm not saying you have to believe in a particular God or deity or a specific religion, but know that there's something that could drive you. Even if you may think it's not tangible, it's a great thing to have. The mindset and the spirituality, I consider that my life's GPS. The reason being is it's going to dictate everything I do and how I do it. When I was younger, I was intense about driving results, and that's very important to drive results. But it became less about driving results and it became more of a dictatorship when I was younger. Now that I'm a lot older, now I have more experience and wisdom. For me, having that mindset and the certain level of spirituality that actually keeps me sane, it keeps me balanced and even keel. And it also gives me a sense of humility. I think as you grow older, you understand that what you may have believed when you're younger, you may not believe now. So it's great to actually figure out what you believe, whether it's in God, whether it's in numbers and spreadsheets. It's also important to have particular thought process so you can have a wise decision making skill that allows you to direct your life in the way that you want. That's very important because when you do have that, you have a level of certainty with uncertain times. And that's going to pull you through difficult challenges and allow you to keep going in the face of difficulty. My mindset has always been about what's the new challenge? What's the next thing? So for me, I really enjoy business. So I'm figuring out ways I could actually develop myself into a better businessman, a better leader for my teams, a better leader for my communities and my family. And it drives me. So I'm always reading books on how to handle certain situations or handle certain relationships. What's great about that is that now that regardless whatever result that comes, I'm focusing on what I control. When you understand what your own mindset is and what your spirituality is, you're going to have a certain level of self-awareness. And this is the most important thing that anyone can have is to know thyself. Because the better you understand yourself, the better you're going to make decisions to guide you in a particular direction to help other people, help yourself, and grow whatever you're focusing on. It's important to get to know this, work on this, and develop this because life is never certain. And you can't live life on a spreadsheet. You can't live life dictated by certain things. You need to develop who you are, understand who you are, and make those decisions that actually promote and support the life you want to live. The third thing that thriving individuals work on are their relationships. As you get older, we lose a lot of relationships, whether we fall out of relationships with the partner, we no longer talk to our friends, or even we have death. Relationships are the most important thing in life. I think it's important that we understand this, and some people still don't, regardless of their age. But if you think about it, all the stories we tell in life are about other people or situations. Relationships are the movies of our life. And if your story doesn't have quality, meaningful relationships, then your life has no meaning. Because how are you going to talk about the stories? How are you going to share your stories? And it's important to be able to do that. For me, relationships became very important after my brother took his own life in 2019. He did this on Father's Day. And it was a challenging time for me because I was trying to figure out what I could do to support him, and I couldn't support him. Without proper quality, without good quality relationships around you, life becomes very dark. And I watched this in my brother, and I did what I can to try and help him, but I failed. So his example of having a bad family life where he did everything for them and then nothing was returned to him, it pushed him over the edge. And I could verify this, that his own family, his wife and kids weren't supporting him because they would easily go on vacation and always leave him at home, never want to take them with him. Even then, when they went on vacation, my brother's wife at the time would take the credit cards from my brother so he couldn't even buy groceries for himself. How do I know this? Because my brother would call me and ask me to buy him groceries. When you don't have quality relationships around you, it puts you in the mind state. You're useless. You're not worthy. you're no one special. And that's not true. There's value in every person. There's value in everything anyone can say. So it's important to surround yourself with the people that appreciate you and are grateful for your presence. And if you don't find that, take the time to get away from those people. Pull away and start spending your time with people who do appreciate you. And if you don't have anyone around you, join a group. Find out what your hobbies are. Figure out what you like to do. And start going into the groups that like to do the same thing. It may take some time, but it's better than being in a situation where you're never appreciated. So always find a place where gratitude and appreciation is well respected, it's valued, and it's prioritized. The moment you don't find that, don't worry about it. Don't be a masochist and allow yourself to stay in a situation where you're unhappy. Quality relationships are hard to come by, but you can find them. Luckily, I've been blessed with a really great family. I have the best parents in the world. My brothers were the best. They showed me the ropes growing up as a kid. They were 13, 11 years old, older than me. When I'm 5 years old and they're 16 and 18, I'm hanging out with them and their girls. I'm learning how to talk to people. I'm learning how to hang out with females. And that actually put me in a situation where it's easy to make friends. And lucky for me, my circle got smaller. And that's one of the things that people need to learn. As you get older, your circle gets smaller and smaller. And so for me, I have the same group of friends for the past 20 years. And I'm blessed to have them in my life. It's a great thing to have quality friendships because they give you support when you're struggling. In the difficult times, you could easily speak to someone and vent out. Now, I understand that not everyone has that, but there are ways to find that too. Through your hobbies, you could build friendships. Through your family, you can make connections. Through your coworkers, you can make connections. Everything is relational in the world. And that means that business is relational as well. So at the end of the day, I consider myself an entrepreneur, investor, businessman. It's the one thing I really like to do. I like to put deals together. I like to talk to people. I like to connect people together. I'm a connector. And so in business, I used to be revenue driven. And now, after multiple years, I realized that business is really about the people. It's about the relationship. And if I didn't have those relationships, I wouldn't have built what I built. I've co-founded Hospi, which is a real estate investment firm. And in the past few years, we've invested in about $70 million worth of property. I'm also a part of a vending machine company called Vendit. And in 2 years, the team went from 0 to 100,000 a month with 200 locations. These things aren't easy to do, but it takes the ability to connect with people. Relationships are the foundation of life, period, no matter what anyone else says. And if they don't understand that, they don't understand life. They can't tell from left and right, and they can't tell from up and down. When you think about it, relationships really give fuel to people that are energetic and ambitious. They thrive. Why do you think when you talk to someone that is thriving, they're so positive and energetic and they're so eager to tell you about what's going on in their life? It's because they have quality relationships and they trust you as a person enough to share that with. And I feel the same way. Part of the reason why I'm sharing this experience is because I want everyone to experience it. Now, I'm not trying to be the end all be all and be a guru and tell everyone what to do. I just want to share my story as a journal to myself. That way I could look back in 10 years and 20 years and say, oh yeah, that's what I was learning at this time. This is what I was experiencing at that time, and be able to reflect and share something on. And maybe through some of my experiences, maybe some of the audience will be able to learn some lessons as well. Now, one of the great things about relationships is you learn humility. You learned humility in breakups. You learn humility from getting fired in positions. You learn humility from death of family members and friends. It's a difficult thing to go through when there's a loss of some type of relationship, whether personal or professional. And sometimes it's a great thing to know and go through these things and fully experience them so you could appreciate a good quality relationship when it does come around. That leads me to the fourth thing. And this is the one that every guy goes through and struggles with is finances. Finances are very important because it's important to pay the bills. I'm not going to front. It's important to put food on the table, pay the mortgage, take care of the kids, make sure your wife's good, take her on vacations, live the life you want. For me, finances are really important, and it's important to always have the income, the monthly income generated so you could fund your lifestyle. Then after that, have an emergency fund for a buffer for any time something bad goes happen. Like for me right now, I finally left healthcare after 17 years. I have no monthly income and it's a little terrifying, but I'm going to figure it out. I'm not too worried about it because I've been able to strategize around my job loss. Now the opportunity is, how do I build my businesses? So finance, after you make your income, you want to set aside something for your emergency fund. But other than that, you need to actually start investing. People that thrive always give themselves options. And in the terms of finances, they have multiple investments. They have an income. They have their emergency fund. Then they have their multiple investments or businesses outside of it. Now, some people may say business is not for them. I get it. It's like literally two other jobs. For every business that you start, you're literally wearing 2 to 3 hats starting off, and it's not easy. So for those ones, I say that, hey, invest in this basic index fund. It's called dumb money, but if you put the money in there and let it compound and don't touch it, which is the key, you get a lot of money at the end of the period. Don't touch it for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, as long as you can. Don't touch it. Let it compound. Let it ride. Yeah. Even if the market dips, it's going to come back up. And so it's a good thing to invest, especially with inflation right now. It's not easy for places. It's not easy for people to make money and keep up and save against inflation. Inflation's all-time high. You're losing your money when you put your money into the bank. So you might as well invest it so you could keep up and surpass what kind of expenses are growing. Check it out. Big Macs 10, 15 years ago was $4.69. Now you get like a Big Mac meal and it's $17 now here in the Bay Area. So the prices of products are growing. It's visible. It's tangible. So you got to get your finances right. Now, the last one I believe is extremely critical and important, and it's having a sense of curiosity and adventure. Because when you have curiosity and adventure, you're able to fuel the progress and growth in the health, the relationships, the mindset and spirituality, the finances. It comes back to that saying, fuck around and find out. You shouldn't fear that term. Everyone talks about, oh yeah, you do that and you're going to get hurt or something bad's going to happen. No, not every single time. When you screw around just to test what happens, you either make something successful or you learn. There's no such thing as failure. And thriving people understand this. They're always willing to venture out and try new things. They're not scared to get hurt. Now, I'm not talking hurt physically or emotionally. I'm talking about having their ego hurt. They're okay with looking like a fool. Try new things and be the new guy. I've been a fool so many times starting new things. It's not bad. After a while, you get used to it. When I first started DJing when I was a kid, I sucked. And then I got better. When I learned to ride a bike, I sucked and fell. But then I got better. I didn't need to use training wheels. And now I can do wheelies. And now I ride motorcycles. And then with golf, I've always sucked. I sucked when I started and I suck now. But I'm okay because it gives me a sense of adventure because I'm outdoors. I'm with my friends. I'm with my family and I'm able to just hang out. People get caught up in what they know and looking like an expert. At the end of the day, if you're like a one-trick pony, that's all you're ever going to be. And as human beings, we're meant to experience life on the full level, every different facet. So get out of your comfort zone, try something new, and have fun with it. I would have never got into business if I wasn't curious, if I wasn't adventurous. I wouldn't have been able to invest in the $70 million of commercial real estate. I wouldn't have been a partner to build 100,000 a month vending machine company. I would have never been the type of guy that actually left home at 16 so I could move to California and become a student and qualify for a scholarship. I would have never gone to graduate school if I wasn't curious and adventurous. For me, I personally love to travel. That's one of the big things for me because it gives me a new dynamic perspective on how to look at a life. When I'm experiencing what other cultures have, I have appreciation and gratitude for what I have at the moment. And sometimes it gives me the perspective to reevaluate, is this what I really believe now? Because sometimes I might change them. What I believed before may not be the best thing to believe in now. That's humility and that's growth. Thriving people understand that life is all about shifting. It's not about yes and no, right or left. Ultimately, that's the decision-making process, but it's shifting what life brings to you and understanding of having a self-awareness to adjust with the times and figure out, okay, what's working for my life and what's not, and making the best out of life and not wasting any time doing it. So if you want to live a thriving life, these are the things that I use for myself. And it put me on a path from being a W-2 employee at a healthcare pharmacy for 17 years. And now I'm a full-time investor and businessman. Now, if you thought that was a cool video, you should check out my video about the lessons I learned up until the age of 40. With that, catch you later. Be easy.